I traveled to the Marble River on Northern Vancouver Island's web of active logging roads. These gravel roads often follow waterways to remote areas, destinations, and operations. If you follow these roads deep enough, they can literally take you back in time.
You know what, if this said Wolfenstein on it, I was gonna do it. Does it say Wolfenstein? We used to have a pancake maker that was like this. You plug it in to the wall and it heats it up. I guess that's for soup. The cups get plugged into. So here, so your cup plugs into there, like that. It's like a big coffee machine, look at that. You gotta mix some concrete up. You got your concrete mixer. Tell you one thing though, the UHF dial. I had one of these. I want to take this. These northern cities, Vancouver Island, were largely created due to industry. Logging, mining, and fishing being the main three. The logging industry here literally built this island. Without the logging industry, there would be no roads. The road I'm traveling right now, if it wasn't for logging, I wouldn't be getting there. And that's true for everybody, for most things, for most places that we go. You just never know where logging roads are gonna take you. I would say that's an important safety tip. Be prepared for the unexpected. In memory of Ryan Britton, who hiked Cape Scott, November 2007. Forever loved. This is not the first cemetery I've seen North Island, just in the middle of nowhere. This is not the first one. That's really creepy. This is about as creepy as it gets. J.W. Rayfield, and he died in 1937, or she, J.W. died in 1937. Jim Cordy. Jim Cordy lays rest here. There's a lot of people that don't like the logging industry, but I gotta tell you, without the logging industry, without these roads, we wouldn't be fishing, we wouldn't be hunting, we wouldn't be hiking, you know, like, I think it's really important to understand that if it wasn't for these companies, you know, our outdoor life would look a lot different. This all used to be a military base. Holberg, at one point in time.
RCAF Station Holberg was dubbed the western anchor of the Pine Tree Radar Line. The station was declared operational on 25th April 1954 and was initially designated as number 501. The line was the first coordinated system for early detection of Soviet bomber attack on North America.
June 29th, 1940, with World War II underway, 8 airmen arrived to establish a base. By the end of August 1940, RCAF Station Coal Harbor was born.
When we talk about World War II, we talk about D-Day, Dieppe, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. What we don't talk about is how close this area came to invasion. June 1942. Japanese forces occupying the Aleutian Islands launched airstrikes from their aircraft carriers against the port of Dutch Harbor on Unalaska Island. June 20th, 1942. Just weeks later, a Japanese submarine that had been stationed off the coast of Seattle was spotted. As the submarine passed the west coast of Vancouver Island, it shelled an outpost. It was called a fruitless attack. Nobody was hurt, injured, nor any damage to the lighthouse sustained. However, it was the first time enemy militants fired upon Canadian soil since the War of 1812. This critical situation forced Western Air Command to order the complete evacuation of the small settlement at Coal Harbor. These northern cities played a pivotal role defending the Northern Pacific throughout World War II. During that time, aircraft, officers, personnel were lost, but not forgotten. This monument stands to honor those who were lost at sea. Offshore fishing in Port Hardy, there's one rule. If you don't know, don't go. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Just try not to forget anything.
Put that in perspective. In 1996, there were 54 pages of regulation for salt and freshwater fishing. 2023, the freshwater fishing regulation book by itself has 84 pages. And the saltwater fishing book, there is no saltwater fishing book anymore. The regulations changed so much, they're unable to print a book. It's hard to keep up.
Apart from cherry salmon, Northern Vancouver Island holds every species of saltwater salmonoid, each with its own unique regulation and restriction. Pink, coho, chum, sockeye, chinook. One species is deemed invasive by the Department of Fisheries, the Atlantic salmon. Restrictions can vary area to area, which are literally invisible lines on the water. They are identified as numbers and subnumbers. I'm not sure the number of areas and sub areas that are out there, but there's a lot. It's hard to keep up. I bet you ask 10 people about fish populations, restrictions, current harvesting, and farming techniques, and you'll probably get a lot of different answers, a lot of different opinions. There's a lot to swallow. But there's one thing that everybody agrees on. Fish populations and sizes have declined over the years. Out of the big three industries, fishing is the beating heart. Fishing has directly and indirectly affected everyone in this region. It is the industry that connects everybody. There's just a little bit more love for fish, and it shows, especially with this group of dedicated volunteers at the Marble River.
Typically, we only have a very short window to catch our fish. The water temperature has to be 13 degrees, and the river level has to be safe for the volunteers.
0.56 of a meter. October 29th. So if we've got to 6.4, then it's too dangerous.
I'm Debbie Anderson. I'm the manager of the Marble River Hatchery, and we raise Chinook and coho salmon at our hatchery. We have a love for salmon, and we want to see the future of them. So we volunteer. What is it? 300 days a year. We volunteer 300 days a year to raise Chinook salmon for the returns of the Marble River.
Steve's going to be in charge of the divers and the swimmers. Dave is going to be in charge of overall everything. So, I told Dave and Lance we're going to start out with 5 in a tank. Lance will be running the lines down below. Looking under the chopper. If you've got any questions, just fire at Dave and Some of your partners have been down there lots, right? Sean and Leanne, they've been.
Because there's no optimum pool where to catch our fish, and there's no roads or trails or anything, so we have to fly by helicopter.
You guys were here yesterday?
Yeah, we were dropping stuff off yesterday, and it was definitely higher than it was yesterday.
This is step one. It's the big day, it's the most important day.
I got good footing here. On one there.
Okay, we just throw there.
Probably the most important day is going down the river, flying with a helicopter, and 40 volunteers. Actually, we had 51 volunteers out this year to help us catch our Chinook.
I'm Steve Lacasse. I'm chairman of the board for the Northern Vancouver Island Salmon Enhancement Association, and I'm a volunteer at the Marble River Hatchery. So yesterday we went down the river with a helicopter to collect our brood stock for the year. Very good group of volunteers go down, and my job is the main diver to go down and make sure that the people that are helping us underwater stay safe and help us get our fish to the beach. I started working with the Marble River in the early 1990s with a very good group of dedicated people. It's a very unique way of catching fish. It's not done anywhere else in BC where we fly.
Okay. Was he coming here?
Yeah. We can't take it up in the corner, everything up in the corner?
Just wash it up.
Well, that corner needs done too?
Yeah, no, you don't need to do the bottom.
No, just here.
No,
Stop.
top.
Yeah.
I was just trying to use up the rope.
That's,
It's kind of long.
it is. Who's got a knife?
Oh, no, you don't cut ropes.
Cut any rope.
You don't cut ropes.
That's the other one.
All in the big net.
Yeah.
We separate the males and females,
Right.
and then we'll put them in here as holding, so that then we can fill the tanks up. So the helicopter doesn't have to take a lot of time waiting for us to fill the tanks. She'll drop the tank, put 8 or 9 fish in it. She'll have taken one, then she's ready for the next one. It goes very quick.
Right.
So these are just holding pens for us.
I see.
So we could have a dozen in here?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Sometimes more.
The people that are involved are very dedicated, professional, and a lot of fun to work with. And we just like to work with each other and provide support for the salmon. As we're netting a pool of fish to catch the adult salmon, we drag a lead line across the bottom of the river to make sure that they can't escape. And sometimes it gets tangled up on rocks or sticks or whatnot.
We send 21 people downriver. 6 of them are scuba divers. The rest are in dry suits and waders. And the other 20 are up at the hatchery waiting for the fish to come in.
Don't pull it into that ditch, though. Hey, it's the belly will hold it out.
Helicopter operations are not free, and most certainly not cheap. Any mistake here could cost thousands of dollars. As I said, these are volunteers on a no-budget budget. So that means that there is zero margin for error.
Low to the ground. Hung up. We're hung up.
In there.
Steve, over here.
Right by you. Somewhere right there.
Midline.
Hung up here, David.
Good. There, that's good. We're good there. Good. Good.
This deployment was a total success. And then the fun part.
Rodney, behind you. Are you ready for the other one to go over? How many use them both? Just so we can't put that one too deep. Yep. Behind you.
Another sea lice. These came up last week. You got their lice on them?
21.
Good up, baby. Walk.
Hello, Grant. Catherine.
Get the next one.
Over here.
Okay, get the lid on.
We're water filling the first air tank.
Numbers down.
Once a year, yeah. No, other hatcheries do broodstock, but they don't fly their fish with a helicopter.
Do.
Come here, you.
3.
Nice one.
4. One more. How many left?
No, there's more than 2 in here.
Yeah.
There's 3 more fish.
4. There's 4.
There's 4 left in there. 4, 5.
Salmon, even though people are very passionate about it, it takes a lot of time. It's a 300-day-a-year job. And of course, there's always the issue of needing more money as well. Fish food that we have to buy, equipment that we have to use, all costs money. And as a volunteer operation, the funding does not keep up with the costs. Also, we need the people, and as a lot of us are getting older, there's a lot of people have a lot of knowledge, but we need younger people to step in, help us, and also learn what we've learned over the years so that we can keep these processes working and keep the fish coming back.
It's okay. Never dressed for nothing. Never know when we're needed. Yeah, it's starting to get pretty swift. How you doing there, Danielle?
I'm just gonna throw a net across, or a rope.
That's a big fish, man. How heavy was that?
I don't know.
It's 30? 27?
Oh, more. This one's a big one too. I think we'll take 5 in this one, man. That's 5? Take 5. Lives up there.
So it's really important to, the husbandry at the hatchery is probably the most important thing. Even in stages when we catch the fish, we have to be gentle with them. We don't use gloves on them. And good husbandry is the most important thing.
Big male.
Oh, key! Oh, yeah. Beautiful. That's a male. Here's another male. So we hold our salmon in different types of rearing units, like circulars, which are the best because they have a really good flow, and the fish, it's good oxygen in there, and the other, what we can't fit in the circulars fits in our net pens.
All of our fish now that we do at the hatchery, which has been very successful, we otolith mark, which means we vary the temperature while they're coming up through the egg stage.
By lowering and raising the water temperature, it leaves a ring, like a tree, on the ear bone of the salmon. We don't clip them, so you won't know that it's a hatchery fish, or you won't know that it's got a barcode on its ear bones. We had an agreement with the United States years ago that if you adipose clip a Chinook salmon, it must have a coated wire tag in its nose. And that's like 25 cents, maybe 30 cents a fish. So it's very unaffordable for a volunteer hatchery. And so we used to do 10% of our fish.
Can you put that in perspective? Just tell me, because 25 cents is how many fish come out? Like how many fish are there? 25 cents times what?
Times 900,000.